Okay. All right, 2 shots at the same time. Are you going to pull both triggers with 2 fingers?
I'll try double hand, and then if that doesn't work, I'll do one hand.
All right.
I think I'm going to do one hand.
That might have been 2 on 1.
I think that was a double.
Hello boys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a very interesting gun called the Gilboa snake. Patrick, tell me a little bit more about the Gilboa snake.
Yeah, boys, this is sent to us by Silver Shadow.
Yes, they're an Israeli company, right?
Yep.
And what is this? This looks like 2 ARs basically glued together.
You hit the nail on the head. 2 ARs glued together. From the trigger to the barrel, there's 2 of everything except for the lower and upper receiver.
And obviously they're not actually glued together. This is a very well engineered and machined marvel of firearms technology. So like Patrick said, there's 2 of everything. 2 triggers, 2 barrels, 2 buffer tubes. But there's only 1 lower receiver and 1 upper receiver.
Yeah, Misha, so the designer of this is Amos Golan. That's the same guy who made the corner shot.
That's the gun that allows you to see around the corner with a little TV screen, and it has a Glock built in.
Never really saw global...
Well, it never really caught on.
It never saw global adoption, but it's extremely inventive.
It is the brainchild of Amos Golan. Pretty out there design-wise. But, you know, we expect nothing less from the same guy who designed the corner shot. This is actually not the military version, this is the civilian version. Patrick, what is the differences between this one and the military version?
Yeah, the main difference is the military version has 1 trigger. So you squeeze 1 trigger, 2 bullets come out. And the reason we have 2 triggers here is because in the US, if you squeeze the trigger once and 2 bullets come out, that's considered an automatic rifle. So you got 2 triggers here. Yeah, the other difference is this is direct impingement, and the military version is piston driven.
Right, so this civilian version is really much more like 2 ARs taped together. It has 2 receiver extensions, buffer tubes with springs. The 2 barrels are direct impingement. So the military version has a recoil system housed totally in the upper receiver, so it could have a folding stock if it needs to have one. Which I think it does.
Misha, use cases on this? What do you use this for?
Well, you use this to get a 100% discount at the grocery store.
I heard one cool use case with this is you can load incendiary ammo in 1 clip and armor penetrating ammo in the other clip.
Oh yeah? You're also Rambo too?
Yeah,
you're badass?
It's a double-barreled AR. If you don't have a Rambo mentality when you're shooting this gun, then like, what the fuck are you doing? This is the Rambo gun.
Well, I would say, since this gun kind of harkens back to the 1960s, 70s Project Salvo of the US government, you know, which was the project to investigate whether or not they could increase the hit probability of an individual soldier on the battlefield. And they realized to do that, they need to increase the number of rounds
going down range
for each pull of the trigger. And this was accomplished by many means, namely through multiple barrel systems. So that is its practical use case for me. We've shot this today.
Yeah, we did shoot it, and how it works is kind of funky.
Rolling on the spotting scope camera.
What about this guy?
Yep. So rolling everywhere. So I say go right trigger first, and then left trigger.
We're ready. I'm gonna shoot dead center on the right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Fire in the hole.
That hit just low left center mass. Now, same spot where you aimed, pull the left trigger.
Okay.
It literally hit the same spot.
Wow. Hey, you want me to try to double them up?
Not yet. Keep doing what you've been doing.
All right, I'm gonna aim a little higher, right trigger. Is that just stacking the shot?
It went about a foot higher than your last shot, but it's good. Now do the left trigger again. That hit about a foot low of your right barrel.
Ready? Right barrel.
Right barrel. That hit the original first shot.
Left barrel.
That hit about a foot and a half right of where you just last shot.
Are you ready? Double them up.
Well, if you're gonna double them up, I kind of want to film in slow-mo. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, 2 shots at the same time. Are you gonna pull both triggers with 2 fingers?
I'll try double hand, and then if that doesn't work, I'll do one hand.
All right.
I think I'm gonna do one hand.
That might have been 2 on 1.
I think that was a double. So, guys, you might be asking yourself, okay, why doesn't the civilian version have one trigger? Is that if it has one trigger and you squeeze one trigger and 2 bullets come out, technically that's an automatic rifle.
The manufacturer has 2 triggers installed instead of 1.
Which is...
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate because it's
very
tough
hard
to squeeze both triggers
Yeah.
simultaneously. What you're gonna find ends up happening is you squeeze one and it goes off maybe a half second or a fraction of a second before the second one.
Yeah.
And it knocks your aim off a little, so your grouping to get it tight requires a little practice.
We were seldom able to get 2 shots on target at 200 yards. Maybe a handful of times, but when we did, it was very impressive.
You have to concentrate to do it. It's not something that
Yeah.
you could realistically do in a military or combat situation, or I don't know if you're hunting a deer with this thing. So, I mean, overall, very cool just to like get our hands on this thing. I think if you're saying, what is, generation 2 of this need, for me, or the next generation of this need, for me, I think the barrel adjustment system needs to be improved.
Absolutely.
What I didn't like is that you can't visually inspect the bolt that you're adjusting because it's in a long tube, and then this little Allen wrench, it's very flimsy. It's almost like a toothpick.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, given the fact they went all out on the engineering and manufacturing of the gun, only for the adjustment system to leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
So I think a revision of this gun to Gen 2 would have a more user-friendly adjustment system.
Yeah, big time.
Aside from that, the gun is pretty spectacular, and it's very accurate. At 200 yards, shots are stacking on top of shots from each respective barrel, so there's no problem there.
All right, Misha, so I don't know if you could rate this gun.
Sure. It's, this is very hard to rate because it's unlike any other gun that's on the market right now. Ingenuity, uniqueness, it gets a 10 across the board.
For sure.
Practicality, it's a cool range toy.
Like some other guns that have been on the channel, if you've got a Hollywood movie, this would be really cool in the hands of a protagonist or antagonist.
Definitely, yeah.
A Rambo movie, you could totally use this.
Its practicality would shoot up drastically if it just had one trigger to set off both barrels.
Yes. But I think
That's how it is.
I think if this had one trigger shooting off 2 barrels, that would be Joe Biden's nightmare.
I think this already is Joe Biden's nightmare.
Yes.
All right, so thanks for joining us on our little review.
Did you see that possum?
Yep, you could just call this review 2 barrels, 1 gun.